Hi, it's Cassandra here. I just wanted to share a little bit more about me and my spiritual, my philosophical, my whole approach to art. So I'm very much about flow and colour, and I would call it chromotherapy really, the power of colour, whether it's a beautiful transcendent white or the flow of that big round flowy Enzo-like painting behind me, and anything that is just symbolic of just letting go, of just flowing. So I love to paint in a variety of mediums. I love to create in sumi ink. I love to create like these ones here are in sumi ink. I love to create in acrylic. The one behind me is in acrylic or mixed media. And also I have a real passion for working with encaustic or wax, beautiful beeswax. So that's something I'm going to be creating some work shortly using beautiful wax. What I love about flow is it also teaches me just to let go, and there's an element of sort of working with the divine or the spiritual aspects of energy, just flowing with energy. It's a sort of a union of heart and mind and body and soul. And sometimes the most amazing things can happen from things that just seem like they're not working out. So shortly, hopefully I'll be framing a picture I created recently in watercolour, bathing the water, the paper in the sea, and then creating with watercolour, with a small palette of watercolours. And at first I felt like, oh, it's not working. And then I just let go of trying, and I just went with my intuition. I worked pretty spontaneously and pretty intuitively. And the test is, as Leonardo once said about one of the elements of great art, is also space, allowing space within the painting, so not filling it too much and overworking it. I was reflecting yesterday, or just this morning actually, about what inspires my art, and I'd lost a necklace my mother had given me for Christmas, and she was getting quite upset about the fact I couldn't find it. And today I just emptied out my jewellery box, a beautiful box. My grandfather was a woodworker, that was his hobby. His job was security, but he worked as a woodworker and made beautiful tables, and he made me a beautiful jewellery box, and I just tipped it out and I thought, I'm sure I'll find it. And then there it was, this sort of necklace here, which his mum brought me for Christmas, which is Libra, the scales. So of course I'm born under the sign of Libra. Librans love beauty and harmony, and people say Librans are here to create beauty in the world, and that's really what I'm trying to do in my works of art. And often I love flowy dresses. I've got this beautiful flowy dress that I bought recently. I love colour, of course, and people will often come up to me. I was on a contract in the prison service at Rimutaka Prison, and I used to wear these sort of flowy dresses still, because why dress like a man? And people would come up, guards, tough men, and they would say, thank you so much for wearing that colour. You look like an exotic flower. So I'm really excited about my new series, Water Flowers. Someone told me recently that one of my paintings and really felt him so full of light, so transcendent, and it reminded him of Monet's water lilies. So I was really flattered, and I thought, yes, water flowers. So I'll tell you more about that in another video. But I also wanted to credit my grandmother, Molly Fairweather, because I remember as a child we used to go up and spend the holidays with my grandmother in Patea in Taranaki, up near Mount Egmont, Mount Egmont, Mount Taranaki it's called now. And I was the only one out of all the grandchildren, there were 6 of us, who loved to create. And my grandmother, she was in foster care for most of her life, and she found great joy in painting, and she painted a lot of beautiful flowers. She just loved painting flowers and scenery from nature, so I'm also inspired by nature. And my nature's been cultivated by my grandmother, who taught me. I always remember she had a little back room, and it had all her watercolours and tubes, the old tubes of watercolours, and all her brushes, and the walls of her house were filled like a gallery, filled with her paintings. And it was just so inspiring to me. I just loved it. She had pastels, and then she started playing with oil paints, and she taught me how to paint, and she taught me the value of being a copyist initially, just learning from, she used to paint tea towels, things, landscapes that were on tea towels, because of course they didn't have the internet then, and there wasn't much in the library, so she would just sort of learn her techniques. Some people might go to the Louvre and learn, and she would just learn from painting whatever she could find. In fact, I'll just take you for a little walk. I'm still in the process of building Cassandra's gallery, but here's a wee little painting my grandmother, which, the frame's broken. My grandfather made this frame for her, so he was really supportive of her creativity. And I really treasure that. In fact, I said when she asked, what would I like, when she passed, of course I said, I don't want you to pass. And then I said, I just want your brushes. I would just love to have your paintbrushes. So that was all I wanted of my grandmother. And so I'm very grateful for that inspiration. And I also, of course, here's my wall of inspiration. So you can see I'm so inspired by Leonardo da Vinci. He's my muse. Painting is the beautiful that clothes the truth. Art is the queen of all sciences, communicating with the world. I just love it. There's another one of my flow paintings. So don't forget, coming up soon, I have my creative unblocking course, and that's coming up next Saturday. And I'm really looking forward to sharing my creative process and my creative flow with like-minded souls, or just someone who would just like to have a lovely break, a wellness break up here in the Bay of Islands in Kerikeri. So please stay in touch, comment. I look forward to your comments, and like and subscribe and share. That would be fantastic. So this has been Cassandra giving you a sneak peek into Cassandra's gallery. I can't recall if I ever showed you my self-portrait inspired by Botticelli. See, here we are. I'll just show you without the sun in the background. So look, there's Cassandra. It's me. So I hope you've enjoyed this post. This has been Cassandra. Just sharing some more joy with you and a little bit more about my creative process and the people that inspired me. I hope you've enjoyed that.